Hey there, I'm the Mad Catster. I'm glad you're here. I want to talk to you about something that's really got me riled up. There's a plague spreading over YouTube and social media called Superbam. Some of you may have heard of them on such channels as Def Noodles or Phil DeFranco, or I think even Ethan Klein on H3 Podcast has talked about it. This company is claiming videos from creators, taking ad revenue away from these creators to line their pockets and their clients' pockets, while at the same time, during the pandemic, they got a free government paycheck protection loan that was forgiven by the government, even though they claimed last year to have recovered $10 million in ad revenue for their clients. Something smells here, and we're going to talk about it. Some of you may have heard about complaints coming from YouTubers about their videos getting copyright claimed. And the reason they're getting copyright claimed is, say you're making a commentary video and it's a half hour long. It's about the Ace family. And so you use 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds of a video they made that you're talking about, and you put it in there. Well, Superbam uses YouTube's Content ID technology to automatically scan all of these millions of hours of content, and they find little fragments of video that were created by clients they represent in other people's videos, even though they're lawfully under fair use using that content. And Superbam flags them. They place a claim with YouTube. They take away all of the ad revenue that hardworking YouTuber has earned, even though sometimes it's just a small channel that doesn't make much, and they put it into their pocket and into their client's pocket. And it doesn't matter that you only use 5 seconds. They get the ad revenue for the whole 30-minute video, okay? People like Trisha Paytas and the Ace family. And Trisha Paytas made a video, I don't know whether it was last year, I can't remember, or the year before, where people were furious because Superbam in her name was claiming all of these commentary videos that were using rightfully under fair use clips from her videos. And she sat there and said, I don't know who they are. They don't represent me. I don't know who hired them or why they're using my name. But of course, she didn't do anything about it. And now again, we're hearing people say that Trisha Paytas, through Superbam, is copyright claiming videos, and she's taking ad revenue from those people. So I call BS. Trisha Paytas, you know what you're doing. Stop pretending like you're ignorant and do something about it, because it's bad faith. So I'm going to talk to you about what all of this means, and I'm also going to tell you about a tool that's going to be available starting in the spring that content creators are going to be able to use if they end up receiving a copyright strike, which is different than a copyright claim. I'll explain it in a few minutes. But this tool is going to enable them to take people like Superbam to court and sue them for wrongful copyright strikes. And it's going to be all online, and it's going to be efficient and streamlined and inexpensive. And hopefully more people will fight against these unjust and bad faith takedowns. So Superbam is a small company. It was started in 2019, and it's incorporated in Delaware, but they are also listed in California. In fact, their headquarters is in California. Anyway, Superbam is a California corporation, even though they're incorporated in Delaware, they're headquartered in California, okay? It was started by, the first guy, his name is Ryan Bosak. He and this other guy named Chris Landa are the founder and co-founder of Superbam. They both have experience in digital media, and in fact, Ryan Landa even has a YouTube channel. It's called How to Pronounce English or some stupid name like that, where he picks these random words and phrases that some of them are obnoxious. Allegedly, he's teaching people how to speak English properly, but anyway. And Chris Landa also has a background in digital media. And as I said before, Superbam uses YouTube's proprietary Content ID technology to automatically scan all the content going up on YouTube to try to pick out little fragments of their clients' videos so that they can take away the hard-earned ad revenue from creators who have used that content under fair use and made commentary videos or other news type videos or parody videos about it. So when Superbam gets notified that a video contains content from one of their clients, they issue what's called a copyright claim, and they file that with YouTube, and then they can elect to take away the ad revenue for the whole video, not just the clip that they claim belonged to their client, but the entire video that somebody spent all that time researching, making, editing, and putting up, and they take away all of that money. Okay, so the whole thing that keeps them in business is they get a percentage, of course, of any ad revenue they recover for their clients. And so it's an incentive for them to claim as many videos as possible and to take as much ad revenue as possible, because the more they take, the more they make. But I'm going to explain to you why they're getting away with it. But as I said, the system's come under fire again recently. It's been chatted about all over the place on YouTube. There have been a lot of the news and commentary channels that have been talking about it, and the podcasts about how Superbam is in bad faith claiming all these videos. In the music industry, there's an article here I'm going to put up about a guy that's complaining that Superbam claimed music from a deceased artist that they did not have the right to claim, and yet they still claimed this content and took revenue for it. So I'm going to put that up here. It's not, this isn't my words or my opinion. This is somebody else saying this who knows that industry. But you can see it's a problem that crosses the boundaries of social media. It's not just confined to YouTube, but we're going to confine ourselves to YouTube today. And as I said, Superbam gets a percentage of the revenue. So every dollar that they take in ad revenue, they get a percentage of that. And this is why I asked myself, how did a company that last year, and I'm going to put this up, boasted about how they recovered $10 million in ad revenue, how they were able to get an $86,000 paycheck protection loan during the pandemic. And as you can see, what I'm going to put up here, all of it got forgiven by the government. They don't have to pay a penny of it back. So how does this company that's claiming they're making millions of dollars able to take money that you and I as taxpayers have given them basically for free? Why are they getting this money? It's really smelly to me. Many of the channels being targeted by Superbam for copyright claims are small creators who are reluctant to fight back, and so Superbam gets to keep the ad revenue, or sometimes the creators will take the video down, which I think is preferable than putting your money into Superbam's pocket. And Sybil's come to join me because she's an expert on this subject. But most of the content creators, they don't fight back, and the reason they don't fight back, and I'm going to explain now to you the system, if you can call it that, of how this works. So Superbam will find a video using this automated technology, flag it, they put in a claim, copyright claim with YouTube. They have the option to take away the ad revenue, which then gets split between them and their client. Then the YouTuber whose video got flagged can go into their account and they can dispute the copyright claim. Now get this, the system is so broken that YouTube sends the dispute to Superbam. And Superbam, who made the claim in the first place, gets to decide whether the video they claimed was actually rightfully claimed. Now, what do you think they're going to say? Oh, oops, my bad. Here you go. Here's your money back. No, they're going to say, oh, no, we were right to begin with. That's really crazy. That's like me getting sued in court, losing my lawsuit, and then instead of how the system works, going to the court and filing an appeal and having a judge re-examine all the facts, the person who won the lawsuit gets to decide whether they still won the lawsuit or whether they're going to let you win and give away the judgment that they just got. Do you really think anybody would do that? No. So the system is bizarre. It's totally ridiculous and needs to be fixed. Now, the reason why people are so afraid of this is because if you dispute it, they decide, nope, we were right the first time, then you can appeal. But if you lose the appeal, then Superbam could do a copyright strike and takedown against you, which means that your video would be taken down because they say it violated copyright. Then if you get, I think it's 3 strikes, your channel on YouTube can be permanently taken down and you are done on YouTube. That's why people are terrified. They don't want to get copyright strikes and lose their channel. And the appeal, basically the same ridiculous system all over again. It goes back to them one more time and they can now say yes or no based on the appeal. And if you lose the appeal and you get a copyright strike, you can then file what's called a counter notice. And I'm not going to get into it because there's a lot of requirements legally. And basically what you're doing is you're one more time saying to them, you are wrong to put the copyright strike on me. This is why I'm legally entitled to use that footage in my video. Then if they don't agree to rescind the copyright strike, your only option from there is to take Superbam to court. And of course, people don't want to be bothered doing that unless you're a huge YouTuber that's got like a legal team that can handle it. Small creators don't want to file a lawsuit in court in the chance that they might lose and then they've got this strike on their record. And so because people don't fight against it, Superbam continues to do it. And like I said, in a minute, I'm going to explain to you why that is hopefully going to change starting this spring. So I took a look, I did a lot of research on this article, and I took a look to see how Superbam presents itself to the public and to the media and how they promote themselves. And it's really disturbing and interesting to see how they perceive themselves. So Superman promotes themselves basically as like a superhero. They think they're on this like crusade to help their clients recover money that's rightfully theirs, even though it's not. And they basically look at YouTubers who do commentary and reuse these clips for their commentary as pirates and thieves, and that they're contemptible people. So I'm going to show you an article that came out in 2019 on a website called TubeFilter. And incidentally and sleazily, in my opinion, TubeFilter happens to be a company that Chris Landa, the co-founder of Superbam, lists on his LinkedIn profile as being a former employer. So you know right away, this is not going to be an unbiased piece. It's going to be a total PR piece for Superbam. And this is how they present themselves. So first of all, they claim that they want to help, quote unquote, YouTubers reclaim the millions they lose from piracy. Right away, you can see that they're viewing commentary creators as pirates. They also refer to small channels as individuals with quote unquote nefarious monetary intentions. So basically, if you make a half-hour commentary and use 15 seconds of a video, you're a thief, even though under fair use, you're legally using that content. And Superbam eyes you as somebody who's taking revenue from their clients when in fact Superbam is taking revenue away from content creators who do commentary, and they're giving the money to their clients and taking a cut from themselves. So Superbam also tries to legitimize its business by making it sound like YouTube commentary channels are like sneaking around, clandestinely taking snips of their clients' content and using it, and trying to get away with it. They say you're scrolling through YouTube and suddenly you come across your original content outside of your channel. And so what is Superbam's solution to fighting against this alleged pirated content? No, it's not to do what you would think somebody would do. If you thought somebody was really stealing your content, you would put in a copyright takedown and make a claim under the Copyright Act and get that video taken down because they pirated your content. What Superbam's solution to the alleged piracy is to instead encourage their clients to quote unquote monetize that content via YouTube's content ID system. So in other words, instead of taking down a video because you legitimately believe that it pirated your content, you're going to instead choose to make a claim and take the money that it's earning instead of actually having it taken down because you really think it's pirated your content. So in my opinion, it's just a crock of BS, and it's just an excuse for them to take money from content creators whose work they've decided to co-opt the profits from. So many of the claims that they put in are for, like I said, commentary channels or other channels that use clips of other YouTubers' videos to make commentary or criticism or parody or news reporting. And these people are legitimately using this content under what's known as fair use. And a lot of you are probably like, well, what's fair use? You hear it all the time, I'm sure. And you're wondering to yourself, what the hell is fair use? So I'm going to tell you what fair use is, okay? And I'm going to put something up here for you. So fair use allows people basically to reuse content created by other people for legitimate purposes of their own in the content that they're creating. And this is the criteria basically that the courts have looked at to determine whether someone's using something as fair use. The reasons for using the content include criticism, commentary, news reporting, scholarship, or research. And what the courts look at is how much of the work was used, what type of work it is, and whether using part of that work affects its value on the market. So in the case of commentary, the courts have found that if you're using a clip of someone's video or a clip of whatever, TV program, whatever, and you're using it to make commentary on the topic of the clip that you're using, and you're creating a new video that incorporates that clip as part of your commentary, that's considered fair use. That's not against the copyright law, and so should not receive a copyright claim. What really pisses me off is that Superbam and other people like them try to make fair use sound like, oh, it's your defense. If you think that the copyright claim is wrong, you can use the defense of fair use. And it's been upheld in the courts now that in the opinions of the courts that fair use is not a defense to a copyright claim, but fair use is actually a right given by the law. And I'm going to put a quote from a big case that actually was from the California federal court. They upheld a fair use win by a content creator. And so the federal court in California affirmed precedent, which has already been decided by other courts, and I've explained precedent before, and this is what they said. They said, fair use should no longer be viewed as an infringement to be excused. It is logical to view fair use as a right. In other words, fair use should not be viewed as a defense to a copyright claim. Fair use is a legal right, and people like Superbam should stop viewing it as a defense to the frivolous claims they make. So rather than acknowledge fair use and make an impartial judgment, what Superbam has decided to do is ignore fair use until they're challenged. So they're viewing fair use still as a defense, even though the courts have now said it's not a defense, it's a right. And that's not how the system's supposed to work. What's supposed to happen is Superbam is supposed to examine the content and make a fair, impartial, and appropriate judgment as to whether or not it's actually fair use. And they don't bother to do that. They just claim it. They don't really examine it to determine if it's fair use. Otherwise, they'd have far less claims that they'd be able to make. So they make the claim, they take the revenue, they move on to the next one because they know that that person's probably not going to fight it. And I'm going to show you why they continue to do this in a graphic to show how their system works. So I'm going to put up this graphic. So what Superbam claims in this graphic they created is that 90% of the copyright claims they make end up generating revenue or getting monetized. So 90% of the claims that Superbam is making, they are able to successfully take the revenue, ad revenue away from the channel that they put that claim against. Okay. And the reason why they keep doing it, and you'll see here in this graphic, it says because less than 1% of the copyright claims that Superbam makes get challenged. Yep, you heard that right. Less than 1% of these frivolous claims get challenged. And that's why they keep doing it. People need to grow a set of balls and fight back against these people and stop letting them get away with this. So now I'm going to tell you the part about the tool that's coming up that's going to help creators fight against these wrongful claims. The first line of defense is to dispute the copyright claim. And as I stated before, you may or may not be successful, but when you let the winner decide whether they're still the winner, they're probably going to say yes, they are. So then you can appeal. Then if your appeal doesn't succeed, then Superbam can issue a takedown and have your video taken down, and you get a copyright strike on your YouTube account. The only step after that was to take and file a lawsuit in court and have to go to court and take them to court to try to get the court to determine that the copyright strike was not in good faith and was wrong, and that actually the content was fair use. Well, there's a new form coming out this spring, and I'm going to put this up to show you what it is. And it's called the Copyright Small Claims and the Copyright Claims Board. And it was created by law, and it'll begin operating this spring. And the forum is Small Claims Court for copyright claims under 30 grand. And it'll be conducted entirely online. You file online, it's decided online, nobody has to go to court, and it's streamlined and it's much less expensive to do. And that way, even the smallest YouTuber can sue people like Superbam when they issue wrongful copyright strikes and takedowns. I'm going to put a link to the copyright small claims down in my description, and I'm hoping that more creators will start to stand up to Superbam, start disputing these frivolous claims against fair use videos, stop letting them take your money, and in the event you need to, go and use this new system to fight against wrongful copyright strikes and takedowns. And until you do, they're going to continue to do this. They're going to continue to make money off the backs of hardworking YouTubers, and they're going to continue to get away with it because, like they said, less than 1% of the people that they put a claim against actually dispute it and fight against it. And as long as that metric continues, it's a winning system for them. They're going to continue that business model, and they're going to continue to line their pockets with your money. So stop it. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. 75% of you are not subscribed to my channel. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me. It would make Sybil happy and my other cats happy. I'm trying to grow. I'm really trying to produce well-researched content for you. And it'd be great if I could see the growth continue. And the way to do that is for you to subscribe and also to like and leave your comments below and let me know what you think about all of this. Whether you agree that it's a crappy system, whether you disagree with me, I don't care. You're entitled to your opinion and I want to hear it. So leave me a comment down below. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.